Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Track Report with a top 10 checklist on things you should really watch out for before making your next horse racing selection. If you're old enough to remember Rodney Dangerfield, he made this great movie back in, I believe it was the 80s, called Easy Money. And I can tell you one thing, horse racing is not easy money. It's very challenging. A lot of high risk, high reward type of mentality that you need to have. And a lot of people go in this, and seen a lot of new people coming in here getting their feet wet in horse racing, and you really got to be careful. And two things that I've written in this article that you got to practice: sound money management and patience. Every race is not the golden egg, right? You really got to be patient, especially on days where, like, say, a Monday and a Tuesday. Right now, what we're going through the COVID-19, so there's only like two race tracks going today. Today is Wednesday, May 20th. Only two tracks going today: Will Rogers and Tampa Bay Downs. So not a lot to pick at right here. But I'm gonna go through this article with you right here, and you can get access to this article here at atsstats.com, and just off the front page. And it's called Ron Raymond's Top 10 Horse Racing Checklist Before Making a Bet. Now, some of the things we're going to watch out for here is what has come in today. Let's say it's race number 8. Go through the card and see what has come in, because eventually a due factor is about to kick in, and that due factor could be a big payout, right? Number 2, what has come in the last 3 races? Again, I think it's really important to follow, be aware of your environment, the culture you're in, your situation, and see what has come in. If you just seen 2 races where 2 big long shots come in, the odds of the third one coming in is pretty rare, right? But if you've seen the last 2 races, a lot of the favorites have come in, 2-1, 3-5, 5-2 odds type thing. Eventually those higher odds are going to kick in. So be very wary of, or be aware, not wary, but be aware of what's coming in. So this way, with your system and the way you're doing your horse racing, maybe that long shot comes in where you, and if you time it right, it comes in at the right situation. I'm a big cycles guy, and that's one thing I monitor, is when is a good time to pounce on it, right? Is the due factor ready to kick in with this underdog? And that's why I love the Raymond Track Report, because we give a joker selection in it. And if I see that the joker has a great odds, and I see that the due factor is about to kick in, well, I'll put that joker to win, place, and show. If he comes in, then we have a nice little payout. Now, how many horses, number 3, how many horses are in this race? And we have a little chart here. If you just click on this chart right here, it's going to show you the win percentage depending on the number of horses in a race. So if you have a 7 horse race, the odds of your horse winning, not calculating the odds, or whoever wins has a 14.2% chance of winning, 28.5% chance of placing, and a 42.8% chance of coming in to show. But if you look at 10 horses, obviously 10%, 20%, 30%. So be aware of the percentage play. And if you look at the article here, I put a little parenthesis beside each one to cover the theory of why I'm giving you out that checklist tip, right? So number 3, how many horses in this race? That's a percentage play checklist. Now, how many of the top 10 jockeys are in this race? And I found this article here on this website. I'm going to plug this website right here. And it says, if you just go scroll right down, right, where did I see this? Right here. It says the top 10 riders, so jockeys in the standings, win about 90% of the races during the meet. Now, follow which jockey is driving, right? Because if you get, say, 4 of the top 10 jockeys in a race, well, that you got a lot of experience right there, and that tells me that the odds are going to tell you who's exactly in this race as a jockey. You're probably going to see a lot of the heavy favorites on those 3-4 jockeys, right? But if you got that one jockey who's in a race, I'll give you a great example. There was a race here at Tampa Bay Downs. I believe it was race number 2 today on May 20th. We had the 9 horse, or actually, which was it race? Yeah, it was race number 3. Proud Deplorable, and Mena was on it. Mena's having a really good last 100 races. He's up in the top 10 for sure. And he came in second. We had him to place. So if you just watch those standings, and you watch the race you're in, see if there's a top 10 jockey in there, and maybe he's alone, and maybe he's got great odds. Because you get a jockey with great odds in the middle of a race, he comes in like this number 9 came in. You got yourself a nice little payout, right? Tip number 5: which horse in this race can wreck your ticket? Performance, experience factor. Be aware of the who's in the race, right? We have on atsstats.com. If you go to our tip sheet, our entry page, and you'll see that we give you the past performance of the races, the last 100 stats or whatever stats we have on that horse, and we tell you his win, place, and show, and how much in the money he's been. So let's go to that 9 horse because he won us some money today. So let's give him a little plug. Proud Deplorable. He doesn't have any stats, so he must be a maiden. So let me go to find. Okay, here we go. Mr. October. Hey, Reggie Jackson. He's driving a horse now. He's horse racing. So Mr. October right here. 26 races. He's won 24% of the time. He's been in the place 3 times for 12%, and he's showed twice for 8%, and he's been in the money 43% of the time. So that's where you want to look at the past performance of a horse. That this way, if you look at the standings or the program, and you see these horses, and if you look in the Raymond track report, what we do with our tip sheet is we give you the records of the horses. I'll give you an example right here. Today we're giving away Tampa Bay Downs for free, and if you just look below the recommended selections, we give you the exacta, trifecta, but here horses with the best win percentage. So we tell you which horse that has the best win percentage that can wreck your ticket, like we said here in the tip number 5, right? So 3, 8, 4, 2 are the horses with the best win percentage that can wreck your ticket. So that's another thing you want to consider. Is there a horse with a top 10 trainer in this race? Again, if you look at our tip sheet, it says the trainer with the best in the money percentage. And sometimes you forget some of these trainers of the smaller tracks. They have some great history, and they might be a trainer like there with the the jockey, like we talked about, top 10 jockey, right? If you got a trainer in a race and he's you don't have another trainer that has like a 60% or higher win percentage, you got to have a lot of experience in that horse and that trainer, and you might get some good value with the odds, right? Number 7, which horse jockey combination has the best value in a race? Again, the value factor. You want to find the best jockey horse combination with the best odds, and again, you need stats, and that's I know this might sound like a plug for our website, but you can go to Equibase, you can do your research. There's sites out there that will give you those stats, but you can also get it right here at atsstats.com. Is betting the favorite? No, number 8. Tip number. This is one here is really important. Is betting the favorite worth the risk reward factor? Now, the reason why I say that is you're going to see a lot of races sometimes, and guys, guys or gals, they get into these low confidence mindsets that I just need something. I need something to come in. I've lost 3 races in a row. I just need a show ticket to really pick me up or get me back, right? Been there, done that. I understand the psychology of the gambler, and we go through it, right? We go through an up and down. We haven't won a few races, but do you really want to get into that mindset of betting favorites? I don't, because I'll tell you one thing: you start getting on the favorites, you'll be broke within a week. To me, it's not worth it. You see it at 3 to 5. I guarantee you watch any races that you see a horse that's 3 to 5, he wins maybe in the money about 30% of the time, 40% of the time. To me, I think it's just a trap. When I see 3 to 5 or 1 to 9 is pretty given that he's going to win, but when I see 2 to 1, 3 to 5, 4 to 5, then those are they could be a trap, right? So don't fall for those things. Find value. What percentage of today's bankroll do I want to dedicate to this race? Now, this one here again, money management. I don't think we talk about that a lot in sports betting. You got to live for another day. When the sun will come up tomorrow, you don't want to drain your bank account, your sportsbook account, knowing that you're trying to chase, and don't get in chasing mode. As soon as you start chasing, next thing you know, you're hitting the bank and you're doing another wire, or you're filling up your sportsbook account. Have a bankroll. Let's say you got $500 in your account. Dedicate 10% of that or 20% to your bankroll that day. It's tough, right? It's really tough because let's say you're betting $5, $10 a race and you lose three straight. You're down $30 in the day and you've already dedicated 100. And you're not having a good streak. By the fifth, sixth race, you're really down a lot, right? In percentage wise. And the thing you don't want to do is start tapping into your account, and next thing you know, you're just like, okay, I got to refill my account. That's why you need a sound money management. And guys, I'm just going to sound like an infomercial for the track report, but I can tell you, I've been through it, and it just, the Joker's wild selection to me is when I don't like any of the top three horses, and I go to the Joker, I'll just bet them to win, place, or show. And sometimes I'll just bet them to place or show, because sometimes to win, the Joker's wild pick to really win, depending on the odds, 30%. You've seen the records here. They come in at 30% to win, right? But in the money, you're looking at maybe 40%. So it's really tough to get that win. But if you come to our website and go to the money management, or not money management, go on top here, entries, go to how to bet horses. We give you a couple of ways to bet horses. Now, my favorite way to bet horses is double Dutch, win in place. What you do is you just say, if you like, say that 9 horse, like I did today, I bet him to win in place. And what you can do is take the Joker's wild selection and bet him just to win in place, or you can bet him the show too, right? And depending on your budget, say it's $2. Say win, place, or show. You want to put $2, $3. You're talking about a $10 ticket on the day, right? And if he comes in, he pays out. And sometimes what you want to do too is you want to exacta box it, right? What you can do. Let's say I'll go to today's tip sheet here, and I'll go to Tampa Bay Downs, and let's go to one of any race here. Let's go to this race here, the one we won on. So let's say here we go. All right. Actually, we'll go to this one. Race number 3. All right. So you got we had the 9, 8, 4, and the 3. Now you can do say the 3, the win, place, or show as a Joker selection, or you can exacta box, right? You can go 3, 4, 3, 8, 3, 9, exacta box. So this way, if it comes in, you win. And depending on, like, say if you do, let's say if you take the 9 to win in place, well then you take the 3 and 3, 4 exacta, 3, 8 exacta. So this way, if the 9 comes in, you got him covered to win in place. And then the Joker here, you take him to win 3, 4, 3, 8. So this way, if he comes in 3, 4, 3, 8, you got another opportunity to make some money right there. Many ways to skin a cat type thing they can say in the horse racing, but those are just some of the ways that I find that will help you with your the way you're making bets, right? And the number 10, is there an opportunity to play an exacta trifecta box? I just showed you right there. That's a good way to do it, because not every race is going to have the golden egg opportunity to make you money on exacta or trifecta, right? You're going to look at those odds and you say, oh my God, the horse I like is only 2 to 1 and it's not going to pay. To me, that's the risk reward factor is not worth it. I don't think it's when I see a horse that in my combinations here, win, place, and show, one's 30 to 1. Actually, that 9 horse, he was 20 to 1 that we like. Proud Deplorable, he was 20 to 1. He came in second now, and I think he came in with the 8, the 7, I think. Anyways, but you got to really watch the odds. Again, go back to tip number 2 here. What has come in the last 3 races? Find the value. And if if there's value, if the favorites are all coming in, and then you see there's an opportunity, and this is where you really got to do your homework. Follow the track, follow the race that are coming in, follow your system. The bonus tip here, as you can see right here, I have a bonus tip. Have a system and stick to it. Too many times I see gamblers fall in love with the potential payout of what coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? Oh, I see this horse, I just love it. But understand the difference between a hope and a prayer, I say. In perception versus reality. Does that horse have a real shot of winning or coming in, or is it just a hope and a prayer that you're hoping? Or are you falling in love with the price? Are you falling in love with the odds, right? And the thing that I love with our tip sheet is that it's all based on jockeys. Again, I'll say it, like, I don't care if it's a third cousin of Secretariat or stuff like that. I don't give a rat's ass about that. to me, it's all about the jockey in my tip sheet. I think winners win, and I follow winners. And when I see good jockeys, depending if you get them on a good spot, that jockey, on a good odds, could, on a say a medium horse or type thing, but great odds. Hey, you got a great jockey on a say a medium to long shot horse. You never know, right? You get a bad break out of the gate, and next thing you know, that jockey you like is coming down the stretch, and he's got your horse in line for an opportunity to be in the money, right? So to me, my system is all about the jockey. If you look at our tip sheet, you'll see that we base a lot of our stats around the jockey, and because if you do it around the horses, you're going to see it's always on the favorites. But if you do it around the jockeys, you're going to get those 90 to 1, 40 to 1s, 20 to 1s. You're also going to get the 3 to 5. You're going to get those. But the jockey, to me, is what drives the race. It's what drives the horse. You see it in NASCAR all the time. I said this a few times in these videos. I hear a driver come out and he goes, "Yeah, we had a great car today." And then you hear other drivers, "Oh, yeah, we had a shitty car today. This car didn't do crap." But when you get a good horse and you got a good jockey, so tip number 7 with jockey-horse combination, that could really help you with your selection. So guys, there you have it. That's my top 10 checklist for today. Today is May 20th. I hopefully help you out a bit. I know there's a lot of new guys into horse racing right now. I've been in this industry since 1996. You can see my book on Amazon, Ron Raymond's 50 Greatest Sports Betting Secrets. This ain't my first barbecue type thing. And if you're interested in our tip sheet, you can get it by going to atsstats.com. And you know what? Every day we give out a free tip sheet. And some guys don't know how to really get to it. All you got to do is go to atsstats.com right here, free horse racing picks. Click on that. It's going to take you to this selection, this page right here. And if you're seeing, sometimes you're going to see a lot of people have cache issues or browser issue. If you're seeing yesterday's picks, hit F5 on your browser. Hit F5 or hit the refresh button, and it's going to refresh the page, and you'll see today's content. And we try to update this as much as early as possible in the morning, so that way all the content is fresh. So there you have it, guys. That's my top 10 checklist. Again, if you have any questions about horse racing or sports betting, you go to our website, and on the right side menu, you're going to see a little button right here that says send a message. Click on that, and you'll be able to contact me through that feature. All right, guys, have yourself a good one, and shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report tip sheet.